A reminder of who our guest is in studio, and we had a quick chat earlier on, is DAPK party leader Eugene Wamalwa. Before the break, Eugene, we talked of an opposition that some say is a crowded opposition, particularly at the top. The latest being Martha Karua, who says she wants to be the president. Rigathi Gachagua has been clear that he wants to be a presidential candidate. So has Kalonzo spoken about that. And so have you, to an extent, also alluded to that. Isn't this not a crowded opposition at the very top?
Not to an extent. I am the official presidential candidate of the Democratic Action Party of Kenya. The Honorable Gachagua from DCP, the Honorable Karua from PLP, the Honorable Kalonzo from Wiper, and the Honorable Matiang'i, who is yet to decide on which party he will run. So I was saying we have 10 parties so far that have come together. We have 5 presidential candidates, and we are going to agree on one. And it has happened before. Out of 23, we picked Raila of ODM, we picked Karua of NARC Kenya. We will agree on which one. But that is our secret weapon. We are not going to say it today. We are not going to be pressurized to say it tomorrow. At our own timing, we're building a team. We have more who will be joining us. So as we go along, we'll be sharing our agenda with Kenyans.
Fair enough.
And we will be agreeing on a candidate. So rest easy, knowing very well that there will be one joint presidential candidate that will send William Ruto home to Sugoi.
And Eugene, these political leaders of these political parties are not necessarily new to Kenya's political scene.
Yes.
Some have been in Kenya's political scene for as long as 20 to 25 years.
Correct.
Why should Kenyans trust the opposition this time round more than any other?
I think we need to look at their records. Anyone who wishes to run for the highest office must agree to have their public record, because it's a record of public service that must be scrutinized by every Kenyan.
Okay.
So if amongst us you find anyone who has been implicated in corruption, please do not allow that man or woman to go to State House, because they'll only have the chance to loot this country more. The looting that is going on now day and night, people who had scandals, who had corruption cases in every court, we allow them to go to State House and we see what is happening. Secondly, if we want this country to move on, extrajudicial killings to end, anyone who has blood on their hands, anyone who has been implicated, look at their public records and let's have Kenyans of integrity, Kenyans who are clean, Kenyans whose public record is impeccable.
Eugene, you say
yes.
Analyze their past history, see if they have done anything wrong before you decide. And I guess that is for Kenyans. Nearly 6 or the other 8 are not in studio with us. Let's talk of Eugene. You have been a Minister of Justice and National Cohesion and Constitutional Affairs for 2 years during Kibaki's second term, a Minister of Water and Irrigation Cabinet Secretary, a Cabinet Secretary for Devolution and Assets, Cabinet Secretary for Defense. Nearly 11 years, if not 11 and a half years, in powerful ministerial positions. What does Eugene Wamalwa want to achieve that he hasn't achieved in those 11 years?
First of all, in those 11 years, and it's less than 11.
Yes,
because it's actually 8. If you look at my record, ask yourself, given a chance to serve this country, did Eugene Wamalwa steal? Because that should be the first test. If we want to end corruption, just like the fish starts rotting from the head of that ministry, the head of that government, his record must be scrutinized. Like Caesar's wife, it must be above reproach. So look at my record, and I'll submit myself as a presidential candidate with my years of public service. And if you can find that I have a clean record in all the key ministries I served, then say Eugene Wamalwa is fit to run for presidency. If maybe in some of this I've been implicated in some of the atrocities, bloodletting, then tell them, Eugene Wamalwa has blood on his hands.
And I bet the question is, what has Eugene not achieved through these various dockets over the 8 years period that he wants to achieve as a president?
Yes, we served in different sectors. And I'm very, very proud to have served in the governance, law and order sector, GLO sector, as Ministry for Justice. This was the most critical period in the history of our country, when a president entrusted a very young minister. I was very young then. I was a Gen Z, not really a Gen Z. I was very young then. I took over from Mutula Kilonzo to work with the CIC, Kina Nyachai, work with the Attorney General, Professor Githu Muigai, work with Speaker Marende to ensure proper implementation of the Constitution. And today, the Constitution we enjoy today would have my fingerprints. I'm proud I delivered. In the water sector, I'm proud when I go to Kambani and I see Twake Dam almost complete. It's going to transform a region that was relying on relief food to become actually a new bread basket to supplement what Trans Nzoia, my bread basket area, is doing. You look at Thiba Dam. I went there the other day in Kirinyaga. We see the doubling of rice production in Mwea, and I see my footprint. I feel very, very proud. You go to devolution. What we're able to do in terms of implementing our Constitution, to have 47 county governments devolved. We had the first Tama grows in Mandera, in Wajir, areas that I had never seen.
That is your ministerial legacy that you are continuing.
I feel very, very proud to have had. But if I had that responsibility, in defense I was there just for 1 year, if I had that responsibility and I was competent enough to be promoted from one ministry to another without any scandal, then I have a clean record. There is something that I must tell Kenyans, and particularly the Gen Zs, who are saying, we don't want these old people who have been in government, that experience counts for nothing. You know, it's Madison who said that if we were a government of angels, I mean, if we were a nation of angels, then we don't need government. So do not expect that there will be angels who fall from heaven like manna and come and transform our country. They will be ordinary Kenyans born here and who have worked here. It is their record that will actually determine their competence.
And Eugene, just on the confidence of you being the sixth, and then we wish you the very best of luck in that pursuit. Where does Eugene Wamalwa get the numbers to be the sixth from? In his own arithmetics.
I think where Kenyans have reached, particularly after this administration, Kenyans are going to look for a man or woman of integrity. Number one, that integrity test. Integrity will be on the ballot. The second thing we are going to look at is someone who has empathy and who has, who really cares and respects the sanctity of life and property. And I believe what is happening now in terms of corruption, in terms of the bloodletting that's going on, Kenyans want a president who can unite this country and who can actually, from his clean record, lead the country in the right direction, transform this country. Look at the policies that have failed, including this one of the fuel prices going up. We were at Bomas, we talked about this, we made suggestions as to what needed to be done to actually address the issue of cost of living. What happened? We were dismissed at Bomas. And we were told, mambo ya cost of living, leave it to us. We have our policies.
Fair enough.
Yes, so we're saying tonight.
Eugene, you are saying the Gen Zs should not expect an angel in Kenya's political landscape.
Yes.
But the Gen Zs are equally saying that these old politicians have been for far too long in the system. It's time to get them out. There's a generational disconnect, isn't it?
Yeah, it would be, but what I would tell them is that to get William Ruto out is like William Ruto was Moi's student. It was like getting Moi out. When we had the young Turks trying to remove Moi by themselves, they could not. What did they do? They adopted an all-hands-on-deck approach where we had the old guards, kina Jaramogi, kina Matiba, kina Rubia, kina Kibaki, working with young guys like kina Orengo, kina Kitui, kina Raila. So it's the young Turks. Wanasema kidole kimoja kiui chawa. It's the young Turks who came together with the old guards, seasoned politicians, all hands on deck, that we removed Moi. So it will take not a Gen Z protest, though they came close.
But you understand
it will take a Gen Zote approach, all hands on deck approach, to actually remove this president. What matters most, I want to say this tonight, is not who amongst us is going to be the next president. It is who must not be president of Kenya again. Because if you want to end this bloodletting, if you want to end the corruption, if you want to end the tribalism, Ruto must go. That's what we are saying. And it's not half-term. We are not going to overthrow this government. It is one term. And that will be when Kenyans will say enough is enough. This will only happen when the Gen Zs partner with all other Kenyans. There are young Kenyans who are in office today. It's not about age. Look at the young ministers who are messing up, including internal security, who is saying shoot to kill. He's a young minister.
Eugene, the president says, and we hear quite from the opposition, that the united opposition is clueless and has no idea of reforming the country, that their main agenda is just Ruto one-term president.
Because Ruto is actually the root cause of all this.
Okay.
Everything stands and falls on leadership. If we have a leader who respects human life and the sanctity of a human life, he would not stand and say, shoot. If you're not shooting in the head, shoot in the legs.
Fair enough.
You know, Rex Masai, by the way, Abu, Rex Masai, the first guy, was shot in the leg. And he died. Tomorrow, the young girl, Bridget, we're going to bury in Kiambu, there was someone who was just firing. You might be firing at the leg, and you end up shooting someone.
Again, we sympathize.
In Karatina, someone is in the gym.
We sympathize with the Kenyans who are brutally murdered.
But you tell the police to continue shooting Abu, Kenyans will continue dying.
Okay. One final question, perhaps. While speaking during the burial of Boniface Kariuki, the mask vendor who was killed on the streets of Nairobi in Murang'a, you said, and I quote, nataka niseme hivi kwa watu ya mlima, sisi tumeanza kuona agenda iliyokuwa 207, agenda ya 41 against 1, and we know William Ruto was the main architect. You're accusing the president of formulating the 41 versus 1 narrative.
Yes, in 207, and he ended up at The Hague for that. And we're telling William Ruto...
so did your former boss.
Yes, but we're telling William Ruto, this issue is not a Mount Kenya issue. When fuel prices are going up the way they're going because of your G2G deals that you did in Dubai, in spite of, international crude oil prices dropping, but Kenyans are still paying more for fuel because of the taxes. It is because of your policies that are making Kenyans suffer.
Just on the question of the narrative of...
There's no cheap fuel for a Kalenjin or a Kikuyu. So address the issues. Stop profiling the Mount Kenya community or any community. A president is supposed to be a symbol of national unity. You cannot be the one trying to make this a Mount Kenya affair. The Gen Z issues are not Mount Kenya issues. They're Kenyan issues, touching on everyone with a payslip, no matter what tribe you come from, whether you are Kiprotich or Nanjala, your payslip, if you are a teacher, if you are a policeman, if you are a soldier, if you are a doctor, you suffer the same.
And you haven't, with respect, answered my question. How is the president framing a narrative of 41 versus 1?
This narrative has come out very, very clearly. I listened to Mandago speak, and he's warning the Mount Kenya community. I listened even to my fellow from Luyaland, Moses Wetangula, speak, telling the Kalenjin, inciting the Kalenjin to defend their man, to defend power. This is the same language we had in 92, in 97, when Kalenjins were incited and told, these multi-party people want to take away power from us. What happened in 92? What happened in 97? What happened in 207? When you start calling other communities, Madoa-doa, Hawa, wanataka kutunyang'anya, defend our man, the only way that happens is when you incite a community against another. They will take arrows and attack that community. Now, no one will be safe, Abu. We are all safe because we have a constitution that defends the president. He's the commander-in-chief of the Kenya Defense. He's the most protected man in Kenya. How do you tell one community to defend the commander-in-chief of the Kenya Defense Forces?
And Eugene, does the rhetoric of framing it as the presidential narrative help?
It is something that we are telling Ruto. We went down that 41 against 1 road. Please don't take us down that road. Tell your colleagues in this government who are using language that is dividing Kenyans along tribal lines and actually inciting communities or trying to isolate the Mount Kenya community and to demonize them. We will not. In fact, they were trying to say these businesses were being attacked. It's because they were in Mount Kenya region.
To be fair, we have heard from all sides claims, accusations, and counter-accusations. Because of the interest of time, Eugene Wamalwa, we will have to end it there. Thank you very much.
No, but we want to tell Mount Kenya community they should not sell fear to them. They are Kenyans protected by this constitution, and they must not be made any lesser Kenyans than others.
Eugene Wamalwa is the DAPK party leader. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Abu.
Eugene the 6th, we bantered off air.
Yes, and may I say this tonight? If we agree that Wamalwa will be the flag bearer, I can tell you this, I will do my best to restore this country
Okay, and we wish you the best.
To where we were.
It's 256 days to the polls. We welcome you.
No, it's more than 200.
And 56 days.
No. I think it's 700.
756.
You say 200. Now, of these 700 days, we are going to agree amongst us who that flag bearer is.
Yes.
If it's me, I'll do my best.
Okay.
If it is any one of my other colleagues, I'll support them fully. And this is one thing I want to assure Kenyans.
Okay.
We will agree. And we will remain united. And we will sacrifice for this country.
Thank you very much.
Thank
756 days away, but seemingly so near and so close. Thank you, Eugene Wamalwa, for your time tonight. Let's get